Hey guys, long time no see. It's been way too long since I've made a video, so I'm making one now, and I actually just wanted to continue what I was talking about before. I've been studying and learning about physical training and corrective exercises in particular, and I've really been learning about kind of myself and how I ended up hurting myself with my torn shoulder, because it's still not completely healed. And even after I tore it, while I was trying to let it heal, I tried to keep pushing myself, doing other exercises, mostly back and legs, and I kind of overdid it a bit on those, and then I hurt myself two more times, but not nearly severe, just strained some things. And what I've noticed from all three of those injuries is two of them I actually kind of had some strains before on them. But what I've noticed about all three of them is they were all directly caused by my chronic sitting all the time. My shoulder injury, my armpit, is actually in my armpit, so a lot of tissue kind of torn. You know, my hairy armpit. I'll save you that image, but you might have got a glimpse. But this tissue, connective tissue in here and kind of underneath, where partially connected to the bicep. All of that stuff tore, as well as my pectoralis minor bit. The connective tissue kind of tore in between the tendons. Not the tendon and the muscle kind of partially tore, but it's mostly that. And I figured out, because it wasn't healing for a long time. It wouldn't heal, and then it would start to heal, and then I actually kind of retore it again, even though I didn't really work on it much, except for like really light, which should have done it. And what I figured out was that actually my mouse hand, the way I was sitting at the computer, was stretching out. This is my right hand, actually. Yeah, it should be on the right side for you guys. So yeah, my right hand. It got stretched out onto the desktop that I've been working on. I think it was mostly because of the particular way that I've been sitting the last 6 months, but maybe a lot of desktops, as long as you have your arm out and your elbows on the desk, and and your arms not close beside you. It's kind of reached out more. It stretches out this inner tissue, this inner fabrics. And so when I went heavy, even though I'm right-handed, even though my right arm is stronger, or actually no, my left arm is stronger, but I'm right-handed, so it's more coordinated. I'm right-handed, and when I took a survey, or when I surveyed the online landscape, when I Googled people with trying to find similar experiences, when I was trying to figure out how to best heal mine and what happened to it, what caused it, I noticed that 100% of the people that I found, the personal accounts that I found, when they said which side it was always on the right side. And most people are right-handed. Most people's right side is stronger than the left side. And my left side is stronger than my right side, but my right side still was the side that got torn. And I think it is actually because of the mouse hand, having your arm stretched out on the desk in a particular way. So when you're sitting at a desk, I would advise to try to keep your elbow as close to your side as possible, or have your elbow rested on something that on a chair rest, rather than on a desk where your tissue is kind of stretched out more. And I noticed that with the other two times I kind of hurt myself, kind of strained myself. They weren't as bad, but I'd done it before years ago, in high school, and maybe when I was doing CrossFit before. But those were also caused by my chronic sitting. One is this muscle that if you touch your back, if you put your hand behind your back, the biggest spinal vertebrae bone, you could feel it right in the center of your thoracic, right on top here. Right on top here. You can feel the biggest bone in your vertebrae up on top there. I don't remember what it's called, but there are muscles connecting to the process. I think the muscles might be the rhombus or the rhomboid minor. I'm not sure exactly which muscle it is, but there's also a muscle that connects to it that stretches from your neck. And what sitting does a lot is if you're leaning forward in a chair maybe, or if you just lean your head back a lot anyways, a lot of guys have this kind of postural malformation, this formation where they have their head back, and like when they're doing squats or when they're doing deadlifts or whatever, exercising or running, they run with their head back even a little bit. When you have your head back tight back like that, and your shoulders rounded forward, your shoulders rounded forward, it centers a lot of the focal point of a lot of that strain. This muscle in your neck, in the back of your neck, and your shoulders rounded, it lands right on that, right around that spine, on the left or right around that process, that vertebrae, on the left or right side. For me, it's my left side. And what it does is it weakens it. A lot of these kind of sedentary injuries, sedentary strains, are constant stretching of muscles or tissue that weakens them over time and lengthens them over time from sitting, largely from sitting. And or standing, it's usually because muscles tighten. Like standing a lot can tighten your lower back and your calves, and yeah, sitting can weaken your hamstrings. If you're sitting, try not to sit on a chair that puts pressure on your hamstrings, because that really tightens them up. I have really tight hamstrings, but having like a chair that puts weight on them tightens them up so much. But so that's basically, well, my advice for that is try not to focus on keeping your head back. Like when you're lying against the ground, do this exercise, just kind of push your head backwards into the floor, and it will strengthen. I don't know what the muscle's called. I gotta memorize all this stuff. It'll strengthen the muscle that pulls your head back like this, like you're a woodpecker or something, and pulls the head back. And so instead of using this other muscle that's right by that cranes your head back and pushes down to there. So that's part of fixing your posture, pulling your head back and tucking your chin down. Do that when you do lifts, deadlifts, squats, front squats especially, cleans too, and it'll keep you from straining, from over lengthening those muscles and straining them. But the biggest one that most people, I would think, the one I've had the most history with, and I think probably affects most people, is a kind of a sclerosis of the spine. Minor sclerosis, might not be major. Could be like sclerosis means your spine gets bent and curvy like this, slightly, perhaps at start, but over time it gets worse and worse because your muscles get imbalanced and your spine wears down. You wear down the cartilage and the connective tissue, and so what's it called? You clamp down on the vertebrae, and then it wears down the tissue. What was called? Yeah, and it imbalances makes you asymmetrical, imbalances your left and right side, and that happens a lot because, well, when you're sitting, you put more weight on one ass cheek or the other. For me, it's my left leg. My left leg's stronger than my right leg, and what it does is I put more weight on my left ass cheek, and it curves my lower spine this way, and then my upper spine curves back this way to correct so my head's still straight. And that mostly where it mostly affects me. It affected me on my thoracic, this vertebrae up here in the back, where I told you before, but also me on your sacroiliac joint. Your sacroiliac joint is where your sacrum and your iliac connect, where your spine and your pelvis pretty much meet. It has two sides to it, your right and your left side. And when you have a curved spine like that, largely resulting from sitting, is you have your one side, in my case, my right side, is weak, is the joint is weaker because it's kind of off. It's not as centrated as it can be. And so as a result, if I go heavy on some kind of weights and it's not properly stabilized, like I was doing squats, but partly because of this, and my stance was too narrow, so the joint was kind of off already, I think, and it was definitely weaker than it should be, and my stance was too narrow, so my pelvis wasn't clamping in on my spine, and so it slipped when I failed a max attempt, which was stupid of me to do. I was pushing myself way too hard. Way too hard on my legs. Yeah, way too hard in general. I was overtraining for sure, at least a little bit. And then I couldn't walk for a few days, for a week. I could walk, but not very well. Definitely couldn't do much. It was hurting quite a bit. And mostly because the training didn't hurt. It didn't hurt that day, but I had done heavy squats a couple days, like 5 days before, and then did heavy squats again. But the previous day I did heavy sprints, like really heavy sprints, and after I did those last squats, I did some more running, and then the next day it was just killing me. It was dead. I definitely overtrained it, and also, you know, result of this weakness. So what I'm learning now is, like, for my personal training, once I start doing it, I've been practicing with my friends and family, but what I've been learning is try to catch things like that before it results in an injury. Because when you get injured, you're going to be out of commission totally or completely for a good while. And not even if you work out or exercise, but imbalances and poor posture and movement strategies, like Dr. Evan Osar, one of the guys I've been studying, calls it, they can build up over time and cause and accumulate into chronic pains and problems and stiffnesses and irregularities in movement and inefficiencies in movement as you get older, as you grow, and these patterns that you've developed persist, that you haven't quite corrected. And it's pretty hard. You're gonna have to correct things like this. You have to not only know about it, you have to be able to feel it. You have to be able to feel your body out and try to locate these weaknesses, like I've been doing, trying to fix my walking and my running. Because I would start there, start at your feet, because it seems like most of your posture and your movement originates from your feet. Well, at least it's easier to think about it starting at your feet. It's easier to think about it and correct yourself because you know, okay, that's where I need to go. These are muscles I need to activate and all that. And so I've been walking a lot around the park since I've been out of commission, basically, and I'd have to spend energy somehow. I've been walking a lot. And what I've noticed, just looking around, watching people run and walk around, is that a lot of guys especially, but girls less so for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe because they're stronger and they're less concerned about sucking their gut in and showing off or something, or maybe they just have stronger hips. But guys walk and run with their toes out, with their feet out. That's hugely inefficient, and I don't know if it'll help create stress. Might actually, probably does. Inefficient stresses or unneeded, unnecessary stresses on certain muscles and leaves others weak. But a lot of guys run and walk with their toes out, and not only looks bad, but you can tell. You can watch how it radiates. Like, go to a park or something and watch people walk around. You can see how people walk just radiates through the rest of their body. If they shake around a lot, or if they swing their arms around a lot, it's because they have this unnecessary rotation down in their legs that spirals up into their upper body and releases as energy in terms of in a rotation, because there's something that's weak, and so they have a lot of these muscles that are trying to make up for it, and as a result that they spin around and waste a lot of energy going side to side and rotating rather than just going straight forward. So yeah, I would focus on that. That's what I'm still doing. It takes a while to retrain yourself, to retrain your body and your mind to work correctly. So I think there's a few more things I want to say about that. I'll probably say in another video. Can't think of them at the moment. But thanks for watching. I need to be making more videos quicker, faster. It's been a long time. I'll try to do it every day, every other day. Every other day I'm gonna make another video. I'm gonna say I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it at least every other day. I'll have a new video. So thanks for watching and sticking with me. And if you have anything that you want to ask, then I'll try to answer. And see you next time.